Hey, what's up you guys? It's Tim here from Review It, and today we are actually going to be doing something a little bit different. We're going to be reviewing some fans that I just bought, as well as some thermal paste, so we're going to do a two-in-one today. So as you can see, I do have my computer behind me. I have all the parts that I bought right over here to my left, and we're just going to see how big of a difference it actually makes from having older Noctuas to the newer industrial ones that they just came out with. We're going to do a sound comparison, temperature comparison, as well as the thermal paste difference between the stock thermal paste that comes on my cooler, as well as the thermal paste that I actually purchased, which is the Thermal Grizzly. I've heard some great reviews on this, so let's find out. Let's go ahead and dive down to see what we're currently using, and then what I bought. Alright, so let's go ahead and dive down into what I'm actually using right now and then what we're going to be upgrading to. So I do have 6 NF-A14s. They are the 3-pin older versions, so I can actually control them using PWM, which is big reason why I actually upgraded, and they only go up to 1500 RPM. So you'll see I have 1 on the back, 3 on the top. These are all running an exhaust. They are all controlled through my motherboard using DC. I do have 2 that are actually on the radiator that I have, which is a 280 millimeter radiator. It's the NZXT X61, great radiator. And then on the front, I actually have the intakes, which are the NZXT fans that actually came with the radiator. These are the loudest within this unit, just because they do spin at a higher RPM. But I'm going to be changing these all out, so we should be able to get a lot better cooling, but I know it's going to be a little bit louder on load and a little bit quieter on idle, so we'll see in the sound comparisons. But what I'm actually upgrading to are the industrial Noctuas. So I did purchase 8 of them just so I can have every fan in my computer the exact same, as well as I did get the rubber pieces that go right on the tips of the fan that are black, so that they will all be completely black versus having black and brown. Another thing I'm actually upgrading, so you'll see I actually have the NZXT. I'm using the stock thermal paste, which is working fine for me, but I've heard a lot about this company called Thermal Grizzly and their thermal paste, so I actually want to try it out for myself just to see if it's really worth spending a lot of money on some thermal paste and see if it really is worth it. It's not sponsored or anything, it's just for personal testing, so you will see a comparison of that. I did also purchase some black rubber tips so that I can actually put them in. So I do have brown ones currently. I'm using black ones now with my black fans, just so I can keep it all matching. I do have some screws and everything down here. Isopropyl alcohol just to clean off the thermal paste. So let's go ahead and switch them over, and then we'll do a sound comparison between both of them. Here's a sound test with the panel off during idle. Alright, so here is going to be the sound test during idle after the upgrade with the panel off. And here is a sound test with the panel on during idle. And here's a sound test during idle after the upgrade with the panel on. Here is a sound test with the panel off during load. Here's a sound test during load after we upgraded with the panel off. And here is a sound test with the panel on during load. And here's a sound test during load with the panel on after we upgraded. Alright, you guys, so now that we've actually went over the temperatures as well as the sound before and after upgrading my fan setup, let's actually get to the conclusion. So my two main goals for this was to actually keep a more consistent temperature while being able to be a lot quieter, as well as going ahead and upgrading my PC to a more aesthetically appealing look. So both of these I believe I did achieve within this. I still have a lot of messing around to do within AI suite that my motherboard has to actually control the fans, because I know I can actually get this build a lot quieter during idle, which I will be doing in the near future, and I know I can actually most likely get it even quieter during load as well, just because during load my computer before upgrading my fan setup was getting a lot hotter. It was spiking up to 57 a lot. So that was a big plus, that I now have the ability to mess around with my fan settings even more so than what I did before. Now I know I can get this build a lot cooler, just because of the fact that these fans can go all the way up to 3000 RPM. But these fans do get very loud, so if you can deal with the sound, feel free to do that, and you can definitely get your build cooler. But that's just a personal preference of mine. The thermal paste did help out with this build a lot as well, because I was able to put a full coating of the thermal paste on versus just having the circle that comes with my cooler that I had. So that was a big plus. I know that had to help with the more consistent temperatures, just because I wasn't getting random spikes. So that was another big plus, and it was very easy to apply. Now if you guys have any questions or anything about my build, or just any comments or questions at all, feel free to leave a comment down in the comment section below. And if you guys like this video, give it a thumbs up. This was Tim with Review It. You guys have a great day.